Chip, Cho, Jawhead.
Bam.
It's all C.
Love it.
No, I'm joking. J is Jaw. It's J.
What?
Chip, Cho, Jaw.
Cho,
Okay.
Cho. Very basic. I love it. And I think that we can really extrapolate a lot from there. Like, will you really be able to ban it all? Or maybe...
Spec bans by TLPH in the first phase. So with the Granger and Moskov gone, is that going to be a potential Harith rush for TLPH so that Shizo doesn't end up with a comfortable pick? Again, he played 3 games on the Harith yesterday. That's where he really shined with. If TLPH don't rush pick the Harith first and they go for something either like a Suyo or a Joy, that means they want to play into the Harith for AP BREN.
Oh, so that means maybe the gold lane pickings are going to start to become slimmer. That might also force players like Shizu out of their comfort zone, maybe.
Still first pick for TLPH. They secure the Harith of OHEB. AP BREN. So far, you know, AP BREN, they can actually go for a roam right now. The Cho is still available in the hands of Kekedon.
Yep.
And at the same time, secure a better gold lane matchup later on. And Joy.
Yeah, the usual best gold laners are not pickable. I think we might expect a carry getting picked up 3rd for TLPH. Irithel is still floatable. I like that you mentioned the Cho. They can go Cho Joy and then pick up the carry as the 3rd. Suyo is still open, so they can pick between that. But Fanny is the pick for AP BREN. And very interesting choice by AP BREN to pick up the Fanny despite the Cho and Chip still being open for JP.
I don't know how I feel about that because of that. Like, the Cho is a very easy pickup here. I feel like there's so many other like roamers that can actually do the same function. But the Suyo is going to get picked up regardless. And the Logi, so many open picks for TLPH because of that pick.
A lot of power picks for the side of TLPH, but I actually also like the combination of the Badang Fanny. Because again, paired up with the fist break.
Fist break walls,
the
crack.
wall, the fist crack.
Yeah.
Fanny can just spam the cables
wall
onto that
spam
wall.
under the wall. That's pretty good, yeah. But it can also work out on the other way.
Yeah.
It can also block out the trajectory of the Fanny.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, so got to be careful with that. But if they really pull it off, I'm sure they pulled it off, right? They won't just whip it out here unless they did it in practice or scrims.
AP BREN does not need to pick up the carry at this point. They can go ahead and pick up the roamer. Again, Cho's still very active. They might even consider Jawhead if they want to be super aggro, but that might come back to bite them. They go for the Irithel instead. We did mention that, so instead of the carry, they pick up the Irithel.
Love it.
They're really saving the potential roam pickups for later. Flexible is the Badang into the roam. I think they're playing into the flex idea. They
look at that.
Go ahead and respect the chip, and that's another one of our brothers, Ingan.
So your brothers in
on the
arms.
phone.
Hell yeah, there you go. I like it. People are joining in. That's pretty amazing.
Good thought by that for TLPH. One thing, if they're going to lean on the Badang XP, they can actually ban out the CC for the side of TLPH.
Yeah, I feel like for AP BREN now, they will need to ban out the CC. It's a great last 2 picks for TLPH. If CC gets banned out by TLPH, that should be a signal that Lucas is going to come into the board for Sanford. Ooh. And that's something that TLPH has played around, Sanford's Lucas.
And they're actually one of the few teams that play well with the Lucas. I believe they have obviously the highest win rate right now, I think. But we'll get back to that one. I feel like, yes, Lucas is pretty good. And I really love the Irithel pickup. They didn't want to risk running out of gold laners for Shizu. Yeah, very good.
Again, you have to supplement the right ingredients for Shizu to pop off later on. It's not just going to boil down to rotations. Also, the hero that he's going to be able to select. But interesting enough, AP BREN actually decides to ban out the Cho.
Yeah. I mean, JP can go Jawhead. Tigreal also still open for both teams. So with the Tigreal and Jawhead, they can both of these two can decide to just trade that. Unless AP BREN is already thinking of putting the Badang in their own, but in this scenario, I'd rather see them put into the XP. But then they have to think about the CC, which I feel like they pick the CC now. That means the Badang definitely has to go to the roam.
You're gonna have a bad time if you face that off. It's a really bad. And maybe they can Jawhead here, right, on this pick, and maybe just turn the story around.
If JP doesn't decide to go for the Tigreal or the Jawhead, Hylos could still be an option.
That's
Especially if
true.
you try to one just a quick stun the Fanny if ever James Pack decides to go in any given moment.
I've had enough high loss for today. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Hylos has had a bad
Whoa,
time today.
what?
Wow. Novaria. Not really what I expected in this rotation.
Well, they want to be deterrents. They want the poke and the vision capability so that they can spot out where JP is going to be coming from.
Yeah, and where the diversions are gonna come from, right?
Yeah. So yeah, as expected, Jawhead, and this should be a CC for TLPH, right? Because they can't CC here. I think Badang Novaria as a Roman mid would actually be okay. So yeah, pick up the CC now so that AP Bren doesn't pick it up.
Yeah, but that leaves
Oh, okay, I'll accept it. I'll accept it.
A bit more aggro, obviously, especially in the early game where you can really leverage that Hilda, walk it around the map, combo with the Jawhead, someone's going to go down almost 90% of the time. Yeah, like it.
now CC is a much more viable option for there, especially if he's gonna go up against a Hilda. He can dominate that lane early on.
You need a hard tank for this one, though. I don't think their front line's solid enough.
That's the thing also. Hylos.
Tigreal and Hylos are the remaining options.
Yeah. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Tig, because if you toss up a Tig, you have to be careful. If you toss up a high loss, it's
yeah.
free meat.
Which we've seen in the previous
Yeah.
games, yes.
Let's go take Rio,
Absolutely.
please.
That is
Whoa.
okay.
Edith.
Not bad, not bad. It's not super optimal, but
Where's
it's
it gonna
also a
go?
pretty good tanky selection
Oh,
here.
Edith Rome.
Yeah,
Okay.
Edith.
Rome. All right. So they followed Renmar's advice, threw it over to the XP lane with the Badang. Not that they can hear Renmar, but yeah, you called it right there. So far, I think that TLPH did feel like they had a bit of an upper hand in most of these scenarios in the draft. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Even yesterday, even Leo mentioned that it's kind of hard to read the draft of AP BREN during game number 1 up against Aurora, but they actually were able to pull it off still. And right now, they've debuted, for their team at least, a new pick in the mid lane, Novaria. I'm curious as to how it's going to perform up against a team like TLPH.
Saw it earlier in Team Falcons versus Twisted Minds, how pressuring playing against a Jawhead and Loi can be. Add a Hilda to the mix, and it's going to be similar to what we saw from the previous series. Pick off and pressure is what Team Liquid PH are going to be playing with against a Fanny-centered lineup of AP BREN, who have decided to put a Rome Edith and a Novaria in the mid lane as a potential stop to the plans of Team Liquid.
It's going to be really difficult to stop TLPH right now, but you know what, AP BREN, we've seen them play around with very unique lineups before. See if they can do this time again. And Fanny on the hands of James Banks is something to really keep your eyes on if you are TLPH, I feel.
And today we might find out if Fanny deserves to be banned out whenever you're going up against AP BREN in the hands of James Banks, the man with a million moves. We've seen it actually used up in MPL.
Yes.
It performs well, but again, as Leo mentioned yesterday, AP BREN is now in the big leagues. Let's see how it's going to perform up against a team like TLPH.
We're flying over the land of Dawn very, very soon. Again, it's the uphill battle that feels like it's the most satisfying to win for me, honestly.
Yep.
Especially for if no one really expects you to kind of come out on top and then you just show off and stun everybody who's watching. That is one of the most optimal scenarios for me. So I don't mind being on the back foot if I was AP BREN here.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna be. It's only a chance for me to prove myself.
I'm also looking at the fact that for AP BREN, no, well, even for Team Liquid Philippines, the gold laners are both quite difficult to catch. The Harith will be putting itself in danger more compared to the Irithel. But something tells me that the Team Liquid PH lineup will just be able to shred through the front line of AP BREN well enough. Again, having Fanny games is always just a toss-up. Will the Fanny snowball or not?
Yeah.
Last time we did see Fanny, it worked out quite well for Onyx in game 1 against Aurora, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Where they were able to turn it around. So, what kind of Fanny are we going to be getting in the first 4 minutes of the game is one of the biggest questions.
At the very least, you know what? James Banks has actually been very consistent. If ever you're looking for a guy who is aiming to prove himself to be consistent, wow, that's a whole team of
That's a whole
Very
squad.
attractive gentleman.
Yeah, that is AP BREN loyalist Brent.
That's right.
There he is.
And there he is.
But he actually does have hair. So.
Well, last season, he shaved his head.
When was that? This actually happened.
It was the AI one.
Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
Wait.
Oh, he played for the Bees
yeah,
today
yeah.
in the Fancy Laban, the fan tournament.
Up against
That's
the
what
LPH.
Yeah, against the LPH.
So far, by the way, that's still happening here. I forgot that was completely happening. They have scores to settle, and early on, I feel like there's already a rivalry brewing
Yeah.
with our viewers here on site.
Yeah. But the problem is for TLPH, they don't have the data to back it up because the Bees fortunately won. 1-0
Yeah.
so far.
there you
Oh,
go.
there is. Oh.
They gave him a very wide shot here.
Again,
Highlighted.
yeah. The Fancy Laban is the community fan tournament that you have.
Yep.
The guy showing off a solo RG, bro. Brent got you in this one. Congratulations, you are in a win streak, but Brent got you for this one.
Yeah. Good
Also-
luck with that.
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to point out, this is one of the rare days where we don't see a lot of the current Bees in the arena. In the previous days, the AP BREN fans still came in droves to support this young roster, especially yesterday. There were a lot of them against their match against Aurora. So yeah, this is one of the rare times where the Bees just gonna come out and fly.
Maybe that's why, because the series yesterday, they went home late. It was two series of
It was crazy.
game threes. It was
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
day. So I don't blame them if they're not here today.
True, they had a long
deserve-
day.
Yeah, they had a long
Rest.
day.
Deserve the rest. They deserve the weekend. It's fine.
And you know what? Starting this week,
Yeah.
if AP BREN does manage to get out a win, they're only going to increase. I feel like it does feel like it's still going to be. What are the next matches of AP BREN, right? I feel like they have I think they were over the hump.
Yeah.
It feels for me because I think they. What teams have you? Did they fight Onic yet? They did, right? They
Onic
did fight
and
Onic already.
Aurora.
So I think they're over like the major.
No,
hump.
TNC.
Yeah,
TNC and
no, they
Aurora.
haven't fought Onic yet. Their next
TNC.
match is against Twisted Minds and then Onic Philippines.
Oh, there it is.
There.
Onyx the next one.
Oh, look at this.
Carl TZ and most 10 plus kills.
Yeah.
10 plus kills?
Yeah, 10 plus kills in a game.
In a game.
Yeah.
Right. So Carl TZ comes out on top in that one. Man, our stats team really do find creative ways to showcase our players' skills. Very creative here.
Yeah.
And we're also seeing Yuji and Wizen. H2O win hate.
31 games played when he's gotten 10 kills.
Consistent. Very consistent.
And man, he also went through a season wherein it was utility tanks.
Yeah, and he's played it around 100 plus games. He's been here since season 2. If I'm not mistaken, he's at around 110, 115 games.
Yeah, around that.
That's almost, if I'm not mistaken, math. Something percentage amount, a lot of Carl TZ actually getting 10 plus kills.
Yeah, and there was also a time he played Jungle Benedetta.
That was here or there.
Those are random times.
Yeah, I still remember that. It was against Blacklist International. It was season 10. It was a regular season game. Blacklist brought out an Estes. And that time, Echo, where they were still called, thought that they could use a Benedetta jungle as a potential way to counter it. It did not go well.
It was like season
10.
10.
They
10,
brought
right?
it. Yeah, they brought it back eventually in the playoffs, and there it worked.
No, before like M2 season 6 or 7. He with AP BREN when BREN Esports back then.
Yeah.
It was like he was consistently trying it out. You know, Ra-
Season 7 was when Benedetta jungle was
there
getting
you go.
picked as an option. Not frequently, but it was more of like a cheese pick if they can do it.
He was one of the guys who did, and he still comes out on top. Like as many of the heroes, as many of the metas he's been through. There's the one thing you can count on. It's the GOAT.
Remember?
Hey, MCC. MCG. GG. There you go. We play Magic Chess, basically.
Remember the time wherein Carl TZ was actually shifting goals? There
He
came
wanted
a time
to be the top.
top damage
damage.
dealt.
Yeah,
Right? I
yeah.
remember those days.
Man, the GOAT is really roaring. And right now, I feel like they're going to reach more heights just because of this comp that they have, this lineup they have right now. It feels like it's very solid all throughout.
I mean, even their, if you watch their vlog, week 1 vlog, even their manager Mitch, was actually giving out pointers, giving out tips, not just life general advices, but actually in-game tips. Wherein she said that it's best if Sanji and Sanford were the ones actually zoning out the opponents during turtle takes, so Carl TZ and OF can have a lot of space to dominate the objectives. Imagine that your manager speaking those terms.
I mean, Mitch is really good. You know, I know she plays well.
Yeah.
And here we go. After a short break, we are into game number 1 of TLPH versus AP BREN. It's blue and yellow here today on the arena.
Right, see where they are at the map. Pressure early on by Kekadot and Choskirt. Again, I'm interested to see how this Badang-Novaria combination will fare out, if they can control the aggression and the control that JP and Sanji can't dish out. So, can you control the control is my question for these two. And Choskirt was not able to steal it away with Star Shatter.
You know, honestly, if TLPH continues this kind of aggression, this kind of ways to getting out objectives away from a Fanny like James Banks, they might be actually able to, you know, top the fastest game for the season so far that they break. They broke yesterday with 9 minutes and 6 seconds.
Oh yeah, that's going to depend on how well James Banks actually handles this early game. Normally, you know what, you'll get targeted a lot. Oheb, very close by, but James Banks does feel like he can manage. It feels like he's very used to this, being focused on by his enemies.
You know, this is one of those rare times where I see immediate action in the gold lane or immediate rotations, because so far it's always been the mid, the XP lanes, but now they're trying to get the gold laners involved as soon as possible.
Yeah, looks like that's the plan right now for AP BREN. Pressure the gold lane of Oheb and allow Choskirt to rotate quickly, get information. So far, the Novaria has been working. They're able to utilize it to change up the rotations of JP and Sanji just a little bit, and able to get information. So far they are controlling it. Let's see if they can continue this when that Jawhead turns level 4.
I mean, Novaria has been a master of pokes, especially ever since the adjustments. As soon as Choskirt decides to go for the Enchanted Talisman, you can expect a lot of Astral Spheres just flying off left and right.
Of course, right now he's only just limited, right, by the amount of mana that you have. But right now, bit of an aggressive move here.
Whoa!
A good catch coming in from Kekadot, but they're going to wait for the
Wow!
follow-up. But JP anticipates the cables from James Banks, and they're going to foil the plan of AP BREN.
That was a fast response by JP, able to toss out the entry of James Banks right away. Kekadot set it up, but AP BREN weren't completely ready to answer to it. They're also coming in a little bit late, but now he's going to get pressured as Carl TZ shows himself up and down there, has to hug the shrubs.
And this is what you were saying, Rocker. It's going to depend on the performance of James Banks and the performance of the rest of the members of TLPH. Another beautiful catch from JP, paired up with a Salmon Force from Oheb, but here comes James Banks, wants to go for the counter kill, and Daddy is going to fall down.
A good answer as well. James Banks, better than nothing, right? Good trade here. Definitely still a little behind on the goal, but you know what? They look like they can handle it. Carl TZ, though, feels like he is on a different kind of playing field right now. He's just focusing on that farm, not too much on the fights just yet.
Yeah, good thing James Banks was able to get a kill early. That should supplement his snowball a little bit. The snowball has not begun, but he's gotten a few bit of resources. Good Astral Echo by Choskirt. Important that you get to read the rotation of the opposing juggler at this time. That's why Shizo up top is hugging his tower, and he went back to the shrubs, knowing that there's a good chance JP and Carl TZ are close to him.
Yeah, that's information being reused right now. But TLPH, though, still gonna go for it.
They're going to try and attempt, but they're going to be disciplined as possible, because again, the counter initiation that Kekadot can provide with the first break combination might just be too much for TLPH at this point. But still, TLPH is holding on to a small amount of lead. They're trying to prevent an early aggressive start from James Banks.
So far, AP BREN are controlling things relatively well in terms of making sure that TLPH just doesn't start an avalanche in front of their faces. They're getting pressured by this Hilda, though. My goodness, he's getting outplayed in the EXP lane. Diversion.
They're not scared to show up here. There you go. Under turret goes down as well very easily.
It's things like this that makes TLPH one of the scariest teams. 4 minutes in, already 2 crucial diversion plays coming in from Sanji. And they're not just controlling the mid lane, they're controlling every single lane that they can have. TLPH now sets their eyes on the turtle. How is James Banks going to respond?
Feels like a lot of this is definitely going to come down to how they fight. But no fights happening right now.
Oh, Carl TC secures the turtle. JP gets the catch onto James Max and COPH with 2 kills to their name. Now they're trying to make quick work of Carl TC. Here goes the Primal Wrath. Gonna do so successfully to bring down the young goat. And Shizu dancing in the middle, trying to work on Sanford. And Sanford down there. But a double kill coming in from Sanford.
Diversion?
Oh. Sanji's not even done! Sets his eyes on James! And now the chase is on. James Pax, he has the ultimate to bring down Sanji. 5 minutes in, 7-3 kill scoreboard. We are in for a treat.
Now TLPH have started the avalanche. AP BREN has to be careful. They eventually got a kill onto Sanji there in the end. They got another one during the fight. But AP BREN have to watch out. If they lose another massive trade just like that one, TLPH will run away with this game.
Feels like AP BREN is just plugging holes in a sinking ship at this point.
Yep.
Oh
Good thing is, though, that James Banks was able to farm up. He is still level with Carl TZ, but Dare has completely lost the EXP lane matchup against Sanford. Almost double is the gold lead of the Apex Predator against Daredevil.
Oh, they sent out JP? The diversion?
They find him.
Okay, but they spot out JP, so no initiations yet coming in from TLPH. And so far, as long, oh no, Shizu also has 2 deaths to his name, so it's not looking good right now for AP BREN.
BREN slowly but surely getting some gold in the pockets of those who actually really need it. That's Shizu as well. Keep at least staying alive on the top side is already a big deal for him.
You know who needs it more?
What?
OHEB.
Oh, 100%.
JP forced to use out the flicker. Dare goes in also, but dodges! The onward combination coming in from Dare. Now Sanford wants to go for more right after Shizu. Gonna bring down the Irithel. And now TLPH in the hands of OM. With his Salmon Force diversion. Sanji onto the backline once again as they bring down Dare. Kakadon caught in the middle by 3 TLPH members. And 3 is the number that TLPH will settle for as they bring down 3.
Bit of a womp moment there we saw. I'm not even going to highlight that anymore. It's just a very big error that really did result in TLPH taking so much.
Oh, James Bond goes in right after Sanji. But Sanford was there. Don't mess with my Sansan duo. Sanford making sure James Banks gets a warm welcome in the big leagues.
The Hilda was a tremendous pick. He's 5-0-4 right now. He beat his lane duo, and he's shutting down this Fanny when he needs to.
Okay. Earth Shatter is there, but JP might be able to sustain it here.
No way!
Even after 4, he's going right out. He's going to take that one. Okay, Kakadon Dare will deliver the final blow, but here comes the re-engagement from TLPH. Sanford onto the top lane. Sanji, a San sandwich up against 3, but they're not going to continue the aggression anymore.
Or are they?
Oh, they might though.
Showing up.
Sanford is just flexing on them. Not much you can do right now to stop this Hilda. You don't have hard crowd control in your mid. Your hard crowd control comes from heroes who really need to wait for the right time to use it. In the Edith and the Badang, they can't just toss it out right away. So AP BREN will have to play a counter-punch style at this point. They're going to have to be patient.
I can't believe what OHEB did in the bottom lane. I mean, we're used to seeing JP saving OHEB. But in that case, OHEB was actually the one who saved JP, got a kill of his own. But again, Dare was still able to get a kill. Here comes the diversion up top. They might be able to find out Kakadon. A beautiful stun coming in from Carl TZ. Gonna force out the flicker of Kakadon. Now conceal. Coming in from JP as Sanford. Keeping AP BREN at bay. JP goes in. Catches Shizu. Throws him to the ground. Passes him off. Tosses him off over to TLPH as Carl TZ picks up another kill.
That was beautiful movement here for TLPH. Sanford specifically dipping and dodging and bobbing and weaving. Getting good amounts of attention from AP BREN. Forcing more fights.
Okay. Forcing out the Trove Skirt's flicker. And now they're going to set their eyes on this second lane turret. JP throws up OHEB to catch James Banks and Kakadon. Fortunately, it wasn't a bit too over-aggressive as AP BREN still lacked the trade.
They're just getting outplayed right now by Team Liquid Philippines. Everything's going right for them. Again, similar to the previous series, the rotations, the timings. We saw the diversion used by Carl TZ and Sanji to try and pick off Kakadon. They immediately converted that into a concealed play down to the purple buff. They found Shizu. And again, JP and Sanji are still on point. I've been saying this since last week. They are too damn good right now.
Too damn good. It feels like it should be an understatement the way they're playing this game so masterfully. so clean. And even in the moments where they feel like they should be going down, they're not.
Yeah. And right now, they're living up to their name as Carl TZ and OM are the top gold earners. And that duo is actually the #1 in the whole league.
In GPM, right?
Yeah, gold per minute as they're trying to work on the orange buff. And even prior to this, Carl TZ was able to get a sad sword, right, Renmar?
Yeah. James Banks in the bottom lane getting managed by the Hilda Well. Sent down by the ultimate of the Loyi.
Oh, unstoppable force. Luckily, Kekedon had the fist break, but OM says, it doesn't matter. I'm too OP. TLPH secures another kill, but AP BREN's going to make quick work of that Lord in the middle lane. And now another enhanced minions coming here. Conceal coming in from the cavalry.
Oof.
Beautiful Astral Echo coming in from Showsker, but Sanford doesn't care. He wants to zone out the members of AP BREN as they work on the middle lane, inhibit their turret. And now the flexes are on for the cavalry. Sanford leading the charge. Carl TZ clearing out the minions. OM goes in with his Zamin Force. As Showsker desperately trying to cast the Astral Recalls to try and delay the push of the cavalry.
They're going after them?
They're running. They're going for the counter punch.
What?
Oh, Kekedon with a beautiful setup, but Sanji managed to stay alive, unlike OHEB, going to be brought down by the members of AP BREN, but Dare was next as Carl TZ picks up another kill. 3 members are left to defend for themselves. They have enhanced minions in the middle lane. Is AP BREN going to be able to defend this?
Yes, they can.
TLPH.
Look at them. Going in hard, going in and throwing as many as they can.
Oh.
Backing off. TLPH, at least for now, will give AP BREN a breather now. Man, oh man. Non-stop aggression here, and I think AP BREN might have a small opening here while everyone's backing off, while everyone's low, because right now, 8,000 on the gold lead doesn't feel like it's close enough.
Team Liquid Philippines, they can still keep this up. But again, that's what we were talking about in the pregame. AP BREN, they can pull off plays that will surprise their opponents to slowly build out a comeback. Good conceal out of the base, chasing after. Dead was able to catch OHEB in the follow-up, also coming in from Shizo to make sure that they took down the gold laner. Diversion.
Oh, they're going to send out JB with a conceal. Unstoppable force used up onto Kekedon, but Kekedon was able to use the fist crack. Now, no casualties yet for AP BREN. James Banks trying to flank from the lower right side as they also use the conceal. James Banks to
Oh my goodness.
Whoa, that was close.
Sanji. Oh, one combo put him at 40% health.
Yeah, that was a crazy amount of damage dealt out there by James Banks. AP BREN, they are not in the right shape to try and contest this. They cannot. It'll be way too risky. It's an 8,000 gold lead. They just have to concede it, back off, and try to defend with the next push of Team Liquid.
100% now, as we do see TLPH basically securing this next Lord. This is going to be Lord number 2.
Yeah.
But it's going to be pretty strong. And again, lots of crowd control on AP BREN. But if they use that to clear waves, to clear the big minion, the Lord waves, they might not have enough to actually win this fight if it happens in the base.
Speaking of not having enough, Irithel on Shizo, still lacking the items. Only built up 2 so far. Actually on the way, if I'm not mistaken, to a Windtalker. So not even going to be going after the Malefic Roar or anything with penetration. Decide to go for a full crit build on this Irithel. Windtalker just built, so that's 3 core items. Will it be enough for what has been a ballooned Team Liquid Philippines lead? The Lord marching in, always going to be healthy for Team Liquid. They're delaying the top. They're going to allow mid and bottom to push first with top one to follow later on.
It's going to be a powerful push here. They're going in. Astral
Echo going to be casted on the 3 members of the cavalry. James Banks trying to make quick work of that Lord. A conceal coming in from AP BREN. They're going to be able to burst down the Lord and maybe save an inhibitor up top, but JP's trying to look for a proper angle to use that ejector. Here comes James Banks once again to clear out the minions up top. Kekedon already used up the fist crack to make sure to zone out the members of TLPH, but there's a fat minion onto the middle lane. They were waiting for a huge initiation flickers in JP, but they're managed to stay alive. He throws out Kekedon instead, and they're gonna kill onto Kekedon and onto JP, and they're doing their best to try and manage OM, but the Filipino sniper is just too much for them to handle. James Buck trying to make quick run for Sanford, pops his immortality. 3 members are still alive for AP BREN. And shades of game number 1 yesterday, they are still alive. James Buck goes in right after the young goat, and they're able to defend the onslaught of TLPH.
Just barely. They're going to go for another move.
On the right side.
On the right side. Oh, they left Sanji, but OM goes in alongside Carl TZ. The Baby Cakes connection, KO connection might be able to finish the job, and to AP BREN.
Beautifully maneuvered from minute number 1. TLPH's cavalry